You can't pull something. If you say something stupid though, you can't take something from
Good
48
morning,
hours
everyone.
away.
You can't do
Yeah,
that.
dude.
you can always.
You said something
pull a
stupid
card.
last week. Am I gonna
Right.
bring that up?
Yeah, you can always bring it up.
Yeah, that's like the girlfriend.
It's
that, like,
subversion. It's
girlfriend
subversion.
that brings up the old transgressions in the past.
Yeah,
and
you're
you
like an
fight,
ex-girlfriend, dude.
Subversion is an okay tactic.
You're the worst version of every
long as it's-
girlfriend.
Nyle embodies a girlfriend.
Make a great girlfriend.
It's a crisp Sunday afternoon,
Oh,
sunny,
yeah. Hello.
with a chance of snow. Scheme team.
I'm gonna have the air horns, Jamaican air horns in the background.
Scheme. Team. Envy.
The audio cut out for that whole little segment. I'm serious. You might want to do that again.
Welcome to Scheme Team.
Welcome.
You can find our content on iTunes, Stitcher, Facebook, Twitter, MySpace, Instagram,
Out on the street.
out on the streets. Ask about us. We heavy.
Heavy clout.
Shout out to the Scheme Team, Street Team. Ooh, I like that. It's got to be a thing.
All right.
There's a 4 on the clever scale.
We have no. This podcast does not represent the views of any of our affiliates, of our employers or schools or potential employers.
Comment, click, drop a like.
Let's get into it.
So we saw Black Panther last night. Do you guys like it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude.
What's
Yeah.
your thumbs up? 2 thumbs up or just 1?
I would say 2 thumbs up and 1 big toe up. Not quite 2 big toes up.
Not quite. It doesn't reach
I think it was an 8.5 out of 10 is my assessment.
I would say it was a good movie, but I would say it was a great superhero movie. Because I think there's very little you can do with superhero movies, right? It's like always a dichotomy between like the action scenes and developing the story, right? Like,
Right.
Either there's too many action scenes and like the story never gets fleshed out, or the opposite, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it was
Too much dialogue. So I think they like I actually cared about the characters. There's enough character development for me to care about them, but there's a lot of action as well. You know, like
It's good balance.
Good
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Michael B. I think Michael
B, the anti-hero.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he wasn't really like
little Walter White kind of.
right. He wasn't like
Yeah.
a full villain.
Right.
Yeah.
He was just kind of twisted mentality.
The thing with Black Panther was it was like the same formula as every other superhero, basically, that Marvel puts out. Superhero movie.
You think so?
Yeah, it's just a different setting.
Really?
Yeah, it's just in Africa, basically.
You took my take.
Oh, is that
That
your
was
take?
my take. I told you that take last night.
No, we were talking about that together. That's exactly what
No,
we...
that was my take.
we-
No, that was my take.
what
No,
we-
that was my take.
Oh,
You said it was
whatever.
Lion King.
Yeah, that's what I
You
thought.
said, you take the Lion King take. I'll
That's
take
not
my
a
take.
superhero movie.
Yeah.
But it's a Disney movie.
When we were
and
watching
Disney
it-
owns Marvel.
Do they?
So, yeah.
When we were watching it, I did think it was like the same story as Lion King. That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's only. I think that's only because of the baobab tree.
No, I don't think it was
Like
the
the Rafiki
setting.
lived in.
I told you guys this. I think it could have been taken place in China, and it still would have been the Lion King story. It's the same plot. It's the same. It's not exactly the same, but I think they took a lot from Lion King. The dream sequence in particular made me think of it, and with the score that was in the background.
I could see why. You're saying, I think you're saying visually it was like Lion King. But that
Visually?
goes back to the setting. It was in Africa.
but
so-
plot wise too. So like we were even talking about it during the movie. Like you
Yeah.
turn over and you're like, oh, that's Scar. Well, they used a similar like character. They pit like two
Right.
brothers kind of, but they were two cousins against each other. And then I think when Lion King continues, Scar has a kid too, and then like Simba tries to befriend Scar's kid or something like that. Similar kind of thing.
Which Lion King is this?
I think it was like future.
There's a
Lion King.
1.5 Lion King.
It may have been in that.
There
I
was
don't
a
remember.
Lion King sequel, right?
There's like a couple.
It wasn't good.
Yeah, I don't think.
remember
Yeah, it wasn't very
watching.
good. It just
Right.
came straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Wow.
1.5. Yeah.
No, I like the movie. It was good. I think there's a lot of hype around it, obviously, because for reasons that aren't even really addressed in the movie. Like, I had no context of it going in. I thought it was like, I heard Black Panther. I thought it'd be more like politically charged, set in like civil rights America or something. I had no idea it was like completely African, or which was cool though. I expected some like Luke Cage type shit. I don't know.
Yeah, Luke Cage is more civil rights type.
Right, but I guess the sequel will be that. Spoiler alert.
If you haven't seen it.
If you haven't seen, the grace period is over. If you haven't seen it. Yo, I'm dropping an album this week. Actually, it's under the moniker Vulture. So look out for it.
Oh, snap.
Soup will spell it down
Vulture.
below.
Vulture.
Here.
How are you spelling that? Is there
Right
a
here.
unique spelling?
Yeah, it's gonna be spelled right here. It's VULTR.
Would it be the other way?
Dot.
Would it be this way, right?
Yeah, Swoop has to.
V.
I don't like this pre-editing.
Yeah.
This pre-mediated
You're directing
editing.
over here.
Yeah,
Swoop.
It's more like directing.
He wants full creative control, Swoop. Yeah.
He wants another Shaq montage. He has a lot of fodder for that.
Yo, yeah, that Shaq montage was a lot of fun.
Swoop, we need more montages. That's what the people want. We created our own superhero last night as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Black Panther was starting to give us some
pot.
ideas. Brown Panther coming soon.
Brown Panther. Yeah.
What's his superpower?
He just haggles and asks for
He's
discounts.
he's an expert in negotiation.
Inappropriate times.
Yeah. That's negotiation.
That's the key. It has to be inappropriate.
He's like trying to buy gas at
Yeah.
a gas station.
I mean, that's like brown people's greatest strength, I feel,
Yeah.
in life. That's what's gotten us so far. Like, my uncle would go to, like Publix. Like a grocery, like a corporate grocery store.
to
Like,
Red Lobster.
none of the prices are negotiable there. And just be like, how much can I get this fish for? Like, the guy just looked at him like, dude, someone in, like, the corporate offices determines that. I can't make that call here. It's not a fish market.
Dude, we are so savage, man. I remember back in high school, if something was like slightly off on a piece of clothing, I'd be like, yo, there's like a little stain over here, man.
always.
Like,
You
let
would
me get
actually,
20% off. On top of the 50% I already had off during that sale.
Super just like stained clothes in the back.
No, I never did that. I never sabotaged.
Have a ketchup packet on at all times.
No, not at all.
He just has a
That'd be
pocket
too
knife.
obvious.
He just like rips a little nick in there. My mom can sew it later.
You got to do that at H&M though. I mean, there's always some stained shit at H&M. It's always something you want
There's always
in your
something.
size.
Yeah. There's
Or
always
it's on
something.
sale for an obvious reason.
H&M employees use those clothes as like their tablecloths when they have their little break. There's no order in
H&M.
that store at all.
Hey, shout out to H&M.
It's all
for my
over this
sweater,
spot.
though, you know what I'm saying? Like H&M India, actually. This is rare.
Oh, that's very
This is
H&M
international,
India.
Rare H&M.
Very
Yeah.
H&M India.
I got the hoodie too.
It's like the straight
Got the
color from the
hoodie,
flag,
got
dude.
the hoodie.
Oh, what's it
Think,
say?
don't,
let me
follow,
put it on.
never what?
Vassal always likes to.
Yeah, you like a close up, dude.
Yeah.
No one wants to see your face. That close up. What does it say? Think, don't follow, never lose. CTRL.
Control.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Control minus the vowels.
Yeah.
I
It's
see.
like the keyboard.
Very
you know?
clever.
Yeah.
Kind of like
I like it,
Vulture.
though.
That's where I got the name Vulture, actually.
So you're VLTR.
I'm VULTR, period. Look me up on SoundCloud next week. I'm dropping with some heat.
You gonna dye your hair? Get a face tat?
Yeah, I might get a face tat.
Yeah. What would your face tat be?
Just be like a Xan pill right over here.
No, they don't. Xan is all. That was 2K17.
Oh, yeah, Xan's.
Yeah.
2018 is not Xan's anymore. so
No.
Maybe like a
They moved off.
Percocet or something.
Swoop, if you had a face tat, what would your face tat be?
You have to get a face tat in this scenario, so like you can't. That's not an option.
I have a very strong opinion about tattoos.
I feel like Swoop would get like a unicorn horn on his forehead. Like pointed to-
What is that? No.
you didn't pick one, so we picked one for you.
A face tat.
Just got like excerpt out of like a Hemingway book. On
No,
his
I would
cheek.
get one of my favorite philosophies, which is mu. It's from Buddhism,
Mu.
and it means unasked the question.
Would it be in English or like a Tibetan or whatever?
I'll probably put it in Japanese. That's
Japanese.
original.
Oh,
is
so you
Japanese
get like
or Chinese.
Oriental writing on your face.
If I had in this scenario, if I had to get a face tat.
Now we're judging your hypothetical face tat.
What about you guys? What would it be? You said Xanax pill.
No, you guys.
So that's already that's done.
Next.
That's done. No, that's
I'm nixing myself.
there's only
Self-nix.
self-nix. That's the thing with hypotheticals. The rules are the first thing you throw out there is part of that hypothetical universe.
Bro,
now.
I'm ride or die. I get scheme team right on my forehead.
Right on the forehead, like the Supreme box logo.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I'm becoming a SoundCloud rapper. I'm gonna get a face tat. I gotta get I already got a moniker that sounds like a SoundCloud rapper name. Sounds like an Xbox Live tag, gamer tag.
Vulture.
So, I gotta put a number at the end of it.
Vulture.com. Vulture.org.
Vulture 23XXX 5.
Speaking of SoundCloud rappers, song of the week, Swoop. No, what was that guy? Jack Johnson. No Jack Johnson.
No Jack Johnson.
No Jack Johnson.
It has to be
Has to
contemporary
be like
music.
not even. It
Yeah.
has to be like a new. Yeah, exactly. A new song.
New song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something that came out in the last month.
Yeah.
Okay, I can look at that.
Definitely, the soundtrack for Black Panther has been bumping hard, and I've been listening to a lot of jazz lately. In particular, Paul Desmond.
Oh,
Is he in contemporary?
Yeah, I don't know. Like sometimes, hip hop is definitely my music of choice, what I consume the most. But you got to cleanse your palate sometimes, cleanse your ears.
Dude. You can't listen to hip hop
Can't have
all
like
the
constant
time.
808s and like snares.
You don't wake up in the morning
right?
and be like, I want to listen to some Kendrick.
Right.
Maybe some days, but like not every day.
Wake up in the morning, listen to a little jazz, a little bossa nova. It'll totally
Bossa Nova,
It'll totally reset your perspective. Give you like a clean head.
I listen to flamenco for that too. Flamenco music.
good.
Yeah, very Mediterranean.
More of a deep house kind of guy.
Deep house.
Deep house is good too.
for that
Yeah.
as well. Actually,
Like Gorgon City.
It
Oh, Gorgon
accomplishes
City
that.
is very good.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like Dead Mouse a lot. Actually, his stuff is
What's
very
who are those
trancey.
guys? Is it City of the Sun? City of the Sun's really good.
Oh, that's Walking on a Dream.
No, it's they're instrumentals. Very good though.
What I've been listening to. I'm listening to a lot of Jay Dilla, old Jay Dilla.
Oh shit, Jay Dilla's good.
Yeah, like his
That's old
production's
school.
really good.
But we're violating the terms of.
We're violating. I'm going
song
back
of the
like
week.
yeah. Song
Basically,
of the
it's
week.
What's your favorite song?
Basically, it's just anybody but
Okay.
Jack
It's been
Johnson.
a journey through Flat's discography.
My song of the week I've been bumping this hard is "Bum Bum Tom Tom" by MC Fiote, Future, J Balvin. It's a good song.
J Balvin's
International
legit.
song.
That's Mi Gente,
Bum Bum
right?
Tom Tom.
J
Yeah, it's the
Balvin?
same guy who did Mi Gente. It's gonna be a hit.
What's it called? Bomb Bomb Tom?
Flat said it here on the podcast.
Bomb Tom Bomb?
It's
Tom
Boom
Bomb.
Boom Tom. BUMBUM TAM.
Boom Boom Tom.
All right, thank me later.
What about you now?
I was laughing at the guy Lil Xan when I saw him, but I listened to his music and he has a song called "Wake Up." It's a good song.
It's a good song.
"Wake Up" by Lil Xan.
I haven't explored Zan's catalog.
No, it's pretty good.
I just listened to his hit. That
Betrayal or something like that. No, that wasn't very good. But "Wake Up" by Lil Xan, and there's another one called.
The one where he's like, her pee tastes like Skittles.
No, I haven't heard that. I have not heard that. The other one is dude, what's this parade outside?
Is it parade?
Parade.
And
Just a bunch of cops.
Yeah.
"Red Mansion" by Gulavelli.
That's what I gotta say to the cops. That's what I gotta say to the
Colonizer.
colonizer. I'm gonna call white people colonizer from now on. That's just the influence.
It's gonna be edited out. It's gonna be edited out.
I don't know. Black Panther got me on some new shit. You know what I'm saying? I like Black Panther because like, it's not like they like downplayed white people, but it's like they messed around with it, the concept of it. Like there was like the token white guy,
Tolkien.
white guy.
Tolkien.
And he just got like shushed every time he was around like the other characters. He was just kind of dismissed. I don't even know what happened to him. In the
I don't know.
movie.
I don't think this is a new song, but I've been listening to another one by OC. It's kind of an underground rapper. It's really good, but it's just been on repeat for me. And then I have an indie pick. It's not rap, but "She's a Gun" by the New Timers is a really good song.
Love the indie picks.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Really good song by the Christopher Norman remix. And then I want to shout out Ram Riddles out of Toronto. I sent you guys that song. You thought it was Drake, but he has a song called Sweeter Man. Yeah. And Yagin, who produced, what's that French Montana song that really went big with Rage from Murd? Unforgettable, yeah. Right, last year. Basically the song of the year.
Oh, really?
Right?
Say that again? Song of the year? I had a discussion with someone like last April when that song first came out. I was like, this is the song
of the year.
This
right.
is the song of the summer. And
that's a lot of people.
No.
I don't know if it actually won Song of the Year, but it was definitely the Song of the Year. Also, Despacito should have been Song of the Year, though, this past time, I think.
Despacito's big, yeah.
Like, it was just such a huge cultural...
It kind of fizzled out, right? Don't you think?
We got sick of it because we played it so much, though.
That's true.
You know?
But Unforgettable's still bumping.
But my point is,
hear it right now.
Yagin produced Unforgettable, and he produces Ram Riddles now. And Ram Riddles, he's just coming up. Like, if you haven't heard him, listen to him. He's really good. Sweeter Man.
So Drake jumped on Ram Riddle's song.
Oh, did he?
Oh, you haven't heard Drake's version?
No, I haven't. I haven't heard it.
Oh, I heard that version like a year or two ago. So
okay.
I thought it was... So I don't know
maybe
who
Ram
came
Riddles
first.
jumped on Drake.
No, Ram Riddles probably jumped on Drake, right? That makes more sense.
I feel like the Ram Riddle came before the Drake.
No, Ram Riddles, he's a young dude,
first.
dude. He just dropped out of like high school or something, or college.
Drake always jumps on like random tracks, and he just like, you know.
Maybe, I don't. Oh, we never said the name of the names we threw out for the Indian superhero. I think we settled on Discountwala. Jaiwala. What if it's just like one word? Like
Bargainwala.
Bargainwala is good. Yeah. Bargainwala.
Discountwala is his sidekick.
Yeah. What about if it's just like Tundi? Just the cold.
Tundi Hawa.
Wawa. What is that his name? That'd be dope.
Wawa. Areva.
Discountwala. For you, brother. For you, I give.
I was still laughing about that. Like even after the fact, or like if Discountwala like meets up with his villain, his arch nemesis, I'm gonna kill thousands, and he's like hundreds. 10.
Why so much death? No need. You can save thousands, like hundreds of millions of people's lives, this guy.
It is master negotiator.
Yeah, and with like minimal time, very efficiently, you know?
Like, listen, death will cost you more.
Why you want to ruin this building? We're just going to fight. Thousands of dollars in property damages. Saves money, saves lives. Saves time.
Saves lives.
Saves electricity.
Saves gas. Just saves.
That's just every episode. It's a different episode. He just saves something different.
Look out for Bargainwala. Coming to a comic stand near you.
Comes in and closes your lights to save you utility bills.
Always changes the thermostat in your house.
He's wearing a lungi. That's his uniform, and his cape is a dupatta.
And he has a chappal.
Yo, they're wearing kurtas pajamas in Black Panther. Do you guys catch that?
Yeah, they were. But is that also an African garment? I think it might also be an African garment.
Where was it first, though?
Yeah, who had that first?
I think it's India, dude.
Because they're the garment people.
Who's appropriating who?
I don't know. But see, the Indian and African, there were trade routes in between. Awesome. So there was a lot of like mixing of culture too, in terms of food, spices,
also
clothing.
the Arab influence.
Also, did you catch? He said Hanuman in
one of them. He did say Hanuman. He said thank Hanuman.
Yeah, which is a Hindu god.
To the
did you catch that
character? Yeah, I did catch that.
Okay. Not a monkey character.
Character?
Maybe just leave that out. You can't call the god a monkey character.
You gotta beat that out.
He's a god.
Yeah.
Not a monkey character. He comes in the monkey form.
Smartest
monkey avatar. Monica's making faces.
Yeah, you gotta tend to that later. Make a mental note.
No, but there's a lot of like references, Brown references. There's Hanuman, and then he said Wallahi as well.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Wallahi was like the terrorist organization.
That's bad.
Well, maybe just leave that out. Next.
That's perpetuating that stereotype.
That prompted us to the Brown references prompted us to say that this is we're gonna have Brown History Day, the last day of Black History Month.
Yeah. I think the last day of Black History Month needs to be Brown History Month, and maybe.
day?
Well, Hispanics have a history
they?
week. I don't know if it's a month or a week. I don't know. I don't think there's that many of us.
When can we get
that
a
we
day?
deserve
We don't even have a
month.
day.
We're not asking for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just want a day.
Yeah,
Maybe an afternoon.
a fortnight. Brown History Fortnight. That's all we're asking for.
We don't have much history.
Yeah, we have the parades. Everybody's got
have
parades
Apu.
though.
Oh.
Oh, Apu, no.
No. No Brown history.
We're writing Brown history.
Ponder on that.
Let that simmer. Let that simmer.
Did you guys read up on the unfortunate news from our home state? There was a school shooting.
Yeah.
I think Parkland. I think it's near
Parkland.
It's near
Sorry,
Coral
Parkland.
Springs.
Oh,
actually.
okay.
Right,
Yeah.
like on the Fort Lauderdale side.
Yeah. It's really unfortunate.
Rest in peace.
Rest
Very
in peace,
unfortunate.
Yeah.
What's really empowering though is like the kids are like protesting now and starting to get more involved.
I saw that.
And they're like, we want to be the last school shooting. You know,
Yeah.
which is
There was a
really
speech that the quotable was like, "We are going to change the law" or something like
cool. Yeah,
that.
which is awesome.
Interested to see.
I
how-
think like from our perspective, I think we grew up in the '90s and we had like Columbine, right? And that was like one of a kind. Like you guys remember when that happened? Like we were
Yeah.
pretty young, but like
You
we were in
didn't watch-
elementary school.
You didn't watch that movie,
essentially.
Bowling for Columbine?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, and it was such a like it impacted the whole society. We were like,
Yeah.
we should change our music, our movies. You remember how like big it was? Like Eminem was catching flack, and like Marilyn, like. So it's crazy that now we're so desensitized. It's like you don't even.
You know how like they've called previous generation the generation of the TV? Someone coined our generation the generation of the mass shooting.
Someone,
is
yeah,
a-
I did.
which is
read
like
that.
such
That's
a,
so
um,
terrible.
yeah.
But what's crazy is like if some of these kids are in high school at this mass shooting, they're 19, right? So they've only grown up in like the 2000s,
Right.
So that's kind of all they know. Like that's their reality, right? It wasn't really our reality growing up. It wasn't as common as it is now,
Right.
So I think to them it's like they're just now realizing this isn't normal. You know, like that's kind
Right.
of what's sad. They're just now like, hey, maybe there is something we could do about this. Why don't we do something?
Right.
You know, like
Right.
for us, it was like this is a crazy phenomenon that's happening right now. To them, this is normal.
You know, the argument on the opposite side is like I always like look at the Facebook comments. It's a horrible thing to do, but like when something like
You
this
engage
happens,
the public's-
you gauge the
yeah.
public. I mean, it's just whoever's loudest in the room, right? It's
Right.
not really a representation of what people think,
For sure.
But a lot of people on the opposition say, "Well, what if the teacher had a gun?" You know,
Yo.
the argument is everybody should have a gun.
There should be
that
an
if you have a
armed-
gun, you could stop someone.
There
with
should be an armed
bad
guard
intentions.
at the school. Definitely, there has to be an armed guard at schools now. I feel like there has to be.
Well, it's
right?
not that, but like you have the right to bear arms, but you have the right not to bear arms if you want to. Like that's the opposite is true. So teachers, I don't think they want to carry guns. Like they can barely pay for school supplies,
Right, that's
and
true.
they want like you to be loaded with 9mm.
The gun companies would love that.
Yeah,
Actually,
NRA.
yeah. They would jump all over that.
So
Yeah,
actually, every
everyone
time-
needs more guns.
Every time there's a mass shooting, gun stock actually jumps,
It does,
skyrockets,
right.
because it's in response to they believe that there'll be some kind of gun control.
Right.
Yeah.
But I mean, I feel like there's a lot of people that are completely against guns, but I feel like the majority of America is just against assault rifles at this point, right?
Right.
That's
Assault
the
rifles
general
and
consensus.
stronger
no one
background
wants that
checks.
anymore, except
Yeah,
like
and stronger background checks. It should be.
Yeah.
I like Canada's system, and I think Canada's system, like, it's hard to get a gun. Like, if you want to get a gun, you need
very-
a third party to
right.
come and say, "Hey, this is a trusted person that can hold a gun."
It's like
you
that
know?
anywhere. It's like it's the problem with a lot of social issues in America is like a lot of Americans just lack perspective, haven't traveled, haven't lived elsewhere.
Yeah.
Where guns aren't normal. It's not
Dude,
a part
Australia
of life.
had a horrible gun problem. There were a lot
Right.
of mass shootings, and then they reformed their laws, and it was hard to buy guns. I don't even think I don't know the exact law. I don't think that you
It's the
can't
same-
not buy guns, but it's hard to buy them.
No, it's the same kind of law in England where if you're part of like a hunting association or some sort of association, you're allowed to own it. But what happened in England is like in like the 1970s or 1960s, there's a school shooting similar to this one where someone in Scotland came in and like shot like 16, 17 people. And right the same year, they enacted a complete ban on guns. They were able to do it in 1 year.
That's crazy.
You know, they were just like, it just happened once to them.
And they haven't had
like,
a mass shooting. Australia, I don't know about England, but Australia has not had a mass shooting since that.
Right, because how can you? You don't have access to high-powered...
But a lot of people in America, what they say is that if you were to create reform like that, there are so many guns that people can get illegally that the good guys won't have them, but the bad guys will.
But it would eventually phase out. Everything has to have a...
Right.
Yeah,
you have to take the first step.
Right, you take the first step, and obviously for years following that, there's still going to be guns, there's still going to be shootings, but eventually it'll taper off. Like, I mean, India is like I used to visit India all the time. I still do. It's a country of 1 billion people, and most of them are poor. Like, and they don't have any guns, and like crime is low in a country where like everyone's poor. Like, you know, if they had access to weapons, who knows how crazy of a place it would be. You know, like So
yeah, I don't like the idea of using that as an excuse. That just like, let's not reform anything because the bad guys will get the guns anyway. No, if you don't reform anything, the bad guys are going to continue to get the guns anyway and more. You know,
for sure.
People who are mentally unstable are going to have access to those. And Trump rolled back that Obama policy. They were not. It was keeping 17,000 people off of the list of people who could buy guns that were mentally unstable. And he rolled that back.
About that. Yeah,
now they have access to guns.
Insane. That's insane. That's where we have to start. We can't vote for people that have high NRA. Like ratings, like the NRA rates politicians. Most, I mean, it's partisan, but most Republicans are A.
Oh no! Here's the thing.
Like,
they just released. There was a release, an article or something. You'd find it. I'll put a link to it. You can see how much each Republican or each congressman, whoever has the highest donations from the NRA, the Republicans get. I think it's close to. Something in the millions, each election cycle or something like that, and the Democrats all together get $100,000.
It's crazy.
The Republicans get millions, hundred million.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Totally insane. I mean, it's crazy. Like I was watching some of the news footage, and like the high schoolers were protesting, and this girl was like holding up a sign and said, "Money killed my friends." You know, it's like that's so true. Like money is just killing. Like just greed, just the gun companies, NRA, just money. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just insane.
And you know, the Constitution says. It was written at a time when it said you have the right to bear arms, but those arms were rifles. Would you see them? Would you see? Would you or muskets? Would you see a mass shooting with a musket? Could you imagine mass shooting with a musket? It's impossible. Someone's loading it, knock you out. Teacher knocks you out with a friggin' ruler if he wants. You know.
Hey, you got the bayonet too. Yeah, you start jabbing some people.
I mean, like we didn't have ARs back then. You know, we didn't have these automatics, semi-automatics, all these things.
So you got to evolve with the times. You know, the Constitution. I mean, a lot of people believe the Constitution should be interpreted literally, and there's a section of people that think it should evolve over time. It's a living.
What's going to happen? Well, that's why we have amendments. And what's going to happen when further technology and weaponry comes out, and you have lasers now? Can kids carry on lasers and do whatever the frick they want?
Bro, this kid was 19, was able to walk into a store in Florida and just buy AR-15.
It's ridiculous.
It's insane. Like, I mean, we all three of us like grew up in Florida. There's people in Florida. There's happening in Florida all the time. Like, it's just a messed up place. Like, I would be scared of something.
It's a weird state. It's a very weird state.
It's odd. I feel like
creates the most national headlines for sure.
I think like we live there. I think the main reason for that is it's such a melting pot. Like when you say melting pot, like you
don't realize. You think it's just like people when I see them from Florida, they're always like, oh, all the old people, and they don't realize the communities that have settled there because like, they know income tax.
Because it's so recent. I think when we all moved there from the
we were the wave.
That was the wave of people, and now you're seeing like all these Asian people, black people, Spanish people, white people just like bunched together.
People definitely have an image as to what they see. And I can even see that image as to what people think. But having lived in Florida, I know it's different.
Right.
There are definitely various communities. I mean, just after, in the last 10 years, the amount of Puerto Rican immigrants who have come in, the influx that have come into Florida over the last year specifically. But it's been going on. It wasn't just the hurricane that prompted that. It's been going on, you know,
they think that like Miami is like Cuban and Latino. And then it's like old people. And Disney, they're more old people.
Right.
College, like that's what they think it is.
Do you think, and I mean, I think it's absolutely a yes to this question, but do you think that contributes to like the craziness of Florida? It's just a lot of different people bumping heads or like...
I think it's the heat. I think it's the humidity. I think it's the humidity.
A combination of the two, possibly.
No, because it's also the laws there. Like you have stand your ground in Florida, right? In New York, you have an enormous density of people with mental health issues and who are homeless. But because the laws here restrict guns, right? There's no concealed carry here.
Yeah.
But in Florida, you have like liberal like
very liberal,
very
liberal gun laws. Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
So you have that myriad of factors,
so much access,
and that contributes to like these events.
I mean, like you guys read about like he was on Instagram and he was like saying things like I'm gonna be a school shooter. How much more red flags do you want? Like,
yeah, I mean, I get it from the FBI's point of view though. Like they probably get so many of those that like 99% of those threats don't.
So
happen,
I think now
right?
they need to just act on all of them. I don't know.
Do they
I
have
don't
the
know.
resources to
Our
do
taxes
that?
are gonna go up, but like,
Like I get that there were warning signs, but like from a logistical, I'm thinking from an operational mindset. How do you even carry
do you think
out?
like in each high school there's like 3 kids, like maybe more, like 10 kids like that are potentially.
I'm sure there are, but how do you pinpoint? That's the problem.
Or
right? How
when
do
you were
pinpoint
in school,
this?
when you guys are in school, we knew. Like it was always a thing. Like if there was someone to do it, it would be that guy or something.
I
like
didn't
that.
think
Right.
I didn't really think like that in high school.
Never.
No.
There's never a
But
person.
a lot
you
of
pick.
times,
It wasn't my reality.
People, it's hindsight is 2020.
Right.
After the shooting, people are saying, "Yeah, it was that dude." But before that, it's a joke. You're like, "Oh, that's
He's just a weird loser.
He's a weird guy."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
if something
Yeah.
were to happen, it would be him. But you joke around about it. It's not a joke, but
Right.
you're saying it half jokingly. You know.
But also, here's the thing.
don't really believe
Here's
it.
the thing. It's like there's so many instances of this where someone does a violent act. And they just put it on Facebook prior to that.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
we're in
true.
Like
like
in Columbine,
premeditated,
right?
yeah.
With the Columbine situation, you would have never even known. These guys were like devil worshipping and just like slitting their wrists in their room,
Jeez.
but they couldn't put it on Facebook Live. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now everyone
Right.
is just
You'd have to
telling-
have a press
everyone's
release in the local
screaming,
paper.
Like it's a scream for help, right? So prior to someone doing something, you see them usually on social media.
Snapchat. They always Snapchat the night before.
This is Snapchat.
Is that really
Yeah.
true? The Snapchat.
There's always a Snapchat. Like they always release
Right,
Snapchat from the
always
night before.
something.
Like,
And
But
they're
how
screaming
many- but-
that's their last scream for help. They're like, "Yo, someone help me! I'm gonna do something messed up. Help me right now." I'm putting.
But
it out
I'd like
there.
to see the stats on how many people do that and then don't carry out anything.
That's true.
A lot of people probably say stuff as a cry for help because they have mental issues, they're going through suicidal thoughts, whatever. It's a call for cry for attention.
Okay, but
right?
if you're a friend of that person or like an
They probably
acquaintance,
don't.
somebody
They don't have
should,
friends,
there
though.
should be awareness.
exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, they have no friends, but they have like he had 24 likes on his Instagram or something. There's someone viewing this and
Hashtags.
seeing it that
24
knew him,
robots.
right?
Yeah.
bot.
No, but I get
They're
your
Russian
point. Like
bots.
somebody should alert someone at that point.
Right,
You
or
know?
even tell that kid like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" Or like, I don't
you
know.
okay?
Yeah, are you okay? Like,
Yeah.
you know, what's good? You're kind of like tripping out. You're wilding, bro.
I mean, if I ever see someone on my social media news feeds, like it doesn't look normal. I always reach out to the person and be like, "Hey, are you all right?"
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Because that's what social media has become for a lot of people that are, in distress, have mental issues. It's like, no, I have no one to talk to. Let me talk to this computer in front of me,
Right.
see who
It's a
responds.
way to
like,
vent.
just put like an announcement, like a bulletin, basically.
Exactly. Put it out there.
Yeah.
I mean,
And apparently Swoop will respond.
and it's just like, it's going back to what I said, like we as like 90s babies have to realize there's certain things that millennials just don't even realize or know. Like they have a different norm than us,
Yep.
right?
Yep,
Like
they
their
do.
means of communication, like the mass shooting, them being used to mass shooting, them being used to terrorism.
I mean, we
them being
technically
used
we
to
are
all this stuff.
millennials
Yeah.
too, but you're talking about younger
We knew-
millennials.
we're in a unique situation
Yeah.
where we can like offer this perspective before all this craziness happened.
Dude, just
before
think
the tech
about
boom.
the people, the kids, the little kids who are popping out the womb right now. What's their
Victims.
generation
Right,
going to be
what's their
like?
reality?
They're coming out and they're like looking at magazines, paper magazines, and like swiping, thinking
Yeah.
that it's going to swipe right, like on an
Right,
iPad.
Insane.
Yeah.
Like
It's so crazy.
it's ridiculous.
That's why a lot of times I feel blessed to be like, have seen the 90s, have seen like
have perspective.
VCR, like
Yeah.
Right.
tape and all that shit.
Oh,
Like,
VCRs,
VCRs,
you had to rewind.
man.
Right, you had to
Throwback.
rewind things.
You know, rewind.
Right, how
Throwback.
difficult, like. a
Oh,
lot
you used
of
to get an
small
extra
things
charge
were.
at Blockbuster if you didn't rewind. that
I used to.
was horrible.
Yeah.
No rewind.
I was like, how did you know? Like, I used to lie. Like, hey, I rewinded. He's like, no, you didn't. I was like, how do they? What technology does Blockbuster have to know? I think he's just like looking at the tape. Like, doesn't
yeah,
look like
it's
you
a one
rewinded
shot.
it.
Yeah. I used to have to. I used to make mixtapes. I would record from the radio onto like a cassette
Yeah.
and like make mixtapes that way.
I don't think I ever really made a mixtape because that was more of an like early '90s thing, and we weren't doing that till later. But I made CDs all the time, like
CDs
burn
were
CDs.
later. CDs
yeah.
were like later. Yeah.
That was our mixtape in high school.
CDs were great. Yeah.
He used to put like write with permanent marker, make some art on it, custom art.
The good ones have the track listing on it. You know? Very thoughtful.
Or you put like it's like your anniversary gift to like your high school girlfriend. You know.
Thinking back, like what a horrible gift. Like,
It's thoughtful, man. It's thoughtful.
it's not really that thoughtful though because everyone was doing it.
You thought of all those Sum 41 songs that made you think of this.
I mean, these new kids are just texting each other Spotify links.
Yeah. Or you create a Spotify playlist and dedicate it to someone.
That's true. You can do that.
There's always creative ideas you can do.
Creative ideas. Man, there was a really shitty dude yesterday that was looking through all our jackets, thinking that his jacket was in our jacket pile.
That guy was real.
The guy was
annoying.
a real shitty dude.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, "Hey, that's my jacket," he's like, "All right, take it."
Yeah.
All right, if you want to, go ahead, take it. And I was like, "It's my jacket." He goes, "Yeah, I don't care. Take it." Oh, I don't care.
And then he has the nerve to like say, "Yo, why are you guys being dicks to me?" I'm just like, "You're being the dick. You're like assessing whose jacket is whose." Like the jacket police over here.
Love that.
And his jacket was not in the pile either.
It wasn't in the pile.
That was our.
He picked up Nile's
That was
jacket.
a secular pile. He was walking away with it.
Picked up Nile's jacket. And I was like, "Yo, that's my jacket." He picked up my jacket. I was like, "Yo, that's my jacket." Picked up Swoop's jacket. Swoop's like, "Yo, that's my jacket." And then Swoop said it the nicest, and he points at Swoop. He's like, "Yo, why are you being like shitty to me, bro? Like." Why are you being a dick?
And then I was like, "Me?" I was like, "Me?" And he's like, "Or maybe it was you or you." And I'm like, "You don't even know which brown guy did it." Confused all three brown dudes.
It just like gave me a little anecdote. Like, there's a lot of like cliques that like don't reel their boys in. You know, like whose man's is this moments? You know, like there's a lot of like.
I don't know, who did he know at the bar?
Whose man's
there?
was that? Like we were trying to locate his man's.
He had a man's like
We
that
were
came up to him and
we-
like was encouraging his behavior. You know, like dude, your
I actually
friend's being
saw
shitty.
one
like,
of his friends came up and gave him a drink and
another
continued
drink.
like, "Here, just drink more of this." And I was
Yeah.
like, "Is that water?" It was like a beige color.
We became his man's. Like we were like trying to like locate him, like guide him back to
you
his
gotta
man.
reel your boy in if he's
Horrible
wilding
friends,
out, like,
horrible friends.
bad friends.
Yeah.
Enablers. There's a lot of cliques like that. Just no.
They
compromise.
want to
they
see.
don't really
they wanna
care
see,
about
They
like,
want to see the
Yeah.
destruction
Yeah.
of them.
Yeah.
Now we're digging deep in
Kind of the same wavelength as the Trumpies.
This all ties in.
Foreshadowing. Like they want us something funny they could Snapchat the next day and laugh at him.
Wakanda.
Wakanda forever. You are a colonizer. You cannot speak here. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. Go see it. Everyone dies at the end.
Fake news.
Fake news. Oh, don't stay throughout the credits if you watch Black Panther. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
There are a couple extra scenes, but yeah, not.
You could wiki it. Not worth it. Not worth seeing the South Korea production team's names.
I think we pod better when we don't go out the night before.
When have we ever done that?